used to swimming in my own sweat, which is really gross. Especially when you're a fat guy like myself. You're just like, you don't want to touch anyone, you just want to be left alone. I want to be invisible, sorry for sweating all over you. How's everyone's day going? You guys had a good show?
Yeah!
Hell yeah. What was that?
I said it's a whole lot better now.
Oh, thank you. I love Arizona. I've been coming to this show for, since the beginning, since the very first game on over in Mesa. I missed 2019 because I think I got sick or something, but it's good to be back. This is one of my favorite shows. Who was here for the very first one? Anyone remember? Okay, so funny story about the first game on in Mesa. Nintendo, it was right when the Wii U came out, and Nintendo gave me Mario Maker 6 weeks early. And I said, I'm gonna show a room full of 1,000 people Mario Maker early. And it was a bloodbath. There was people yelling and screaming, and I was like, lift something up and you can play my level. And there was a woman who like lifted her child like Simba, like, choose me! It was really rad. Yeah, we got in trouble because after it was over, they asked us to go outside, and we just kept it going. We didn't have a TV, I had like a speaker. We all like, hundreds of us staring at a little Wii U gamepad, like, all right, who's up next? How many of you don't know who I am? You can be honest, it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a random guy on the internet, so it's not important. No, I've been on YouTube for a decade. My name is Gerard. First name is French. Last name is Lebanese. I'm Lebanese, 50% Lebanese, 50% Irish. Yeah. And I've been doing YouTube for almost 11 years now. It'll be 11 years in September. Those cheers are the energy that I have left. Take this badge off. So for those of you who don't know what I do, every week for the last 11 years, I've been completing a game a week. And completing, I mean getting every single thing. Not just, I got to the end and I saw the credits. I only got some of the trophies. I mean completely getting 100%. I haven't slept in about 11 years. And it's very exhausting, but the best part about it is you guys, seriously. This is why I do the shows. This is why Honestly, it's the highlight of my life is being able to travel the whole US and the world and meeting all you guys and hearing stories and how I inspired you. It's my energy that keeps me going just because I've been doing this for so freaking long, and when you're doing it as long as I have, you meet so many other content creators and you get, depressed and jealous because it's like, I have to make this gigantic 45-minute show about why Mario is great, and then someone makes a video of their cat pooping and it gets 10 million views, right? That's kind of the pendulum of the world in the palm of your hand. So I appreciate you all even being here. They didn't advertise that I was going to be a Game On until this week, so the fact that you guys are here it's surprising because I did not do a good job promoting it either. So thank you for coming. Do you have a question?
I caught wind of your panel because they actually had it on the schedule. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Printing things work still.
I literally just found out you were here like last second. So.
Oh, sick! Hell yeah! There was a lot of people. I was video game hunting earlier with the Pixel Game Squad guys, and there were so many people who were like, "Oh my God! Why are you here in Arizona?"
I think that was I was the one who spotted him.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, I came here last minute just because of you.
There you go. You have a question?
I was looking for Metal Jesus and I found you.
You know what? I'll take it. Metal Jesus is a lot taller than me. Very kind, sweet gentleman who I love very much. But I'll take it. I could look like him on a good day. Throw this out. Yeah, so I didn't really have anything planned just because this panel was so last minute, but I just wanted to hang out with you all, and if you guys got questions, I can tell stories for days. I'm a storyteller. I've got weird stories about G4. I don't know if you all heard of G4. I'm a TV host.
Woo! Yeah! Woo!
It's crazy. I'm on TV every day for hours, and I don't know why. It's creepy. Gotta Work. I have a TV show coming out in August called Gotta Work. Very excited for that.
Oh.
Did you not know that?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna promote my own TV show. Sick. Okay. It's my YouTube channel actually. But it is on G4 TV if you have cable or if you use things like Paramount Plus has G4. It's on Pluto, which is like a free streaming service. You can watch G4 all the time for free. So yeah, how many of you don't know what G4 is and are just confused by me saying the word G4? Great, I love this, okay. So, G4 was a gaming TV network that came out in the early 2000s.
Tech TV.
It was revolutionary for the time of how video game news and reviews were done because no one took video games seriously in that early era of television. So, you'd get movie reviews, TV reviews, sketches, all kinds of behind-the-scenes stuff, interviews with developers, stuff that nowadays we just turn our phone on and just get instant news right away. But G4 was the place to do it. And there was a show called Expo, which was starring Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. And that show is how I designed the Completionist. Because what I would do is I'd go on the break room at Best Buy when I was working, and I would see G4 on the TV, and I'd watch it, and I'd go, how do I do that? I was looking at Adam Sessler and going, how do I do what Adam Sessler does? Which is talk about games passionately, convince people that the passion behind the games is why you should care about it. And I designed my Best Buy thing just like X-Play. So if you came and bought a game for me in Torrance, California, I had made it look like the X-Play set, and I tried to convince you that I was Adam Sessler selling you games. Fast forward 11 years later, and I'm now hosting the same show next to Adam Sessler. So I don't know how to work that. Very surreal and very weird, but I will take it. So yeah, the network came back last year in November, and I have been, for those of you guys who don't know what I do outside of YouTube, I'm a YouTuber. I own my own business that produces 2 YouTube channels and does merch for myself and other YouTubers. I stream on Twitch all the time. I somehow try and do social media, although I'm very bad at it. I'm always like, look at this photo of my dog. Like, I don't know how else to do it. I also consult for video game companies. I tell them how to make their games better. They often don't listen, but they pay me a lot of money, so I'm not going to complain. And now, I am a full-time television host for X-Play, Attack of the Show, and my new first original show with G4 called God of Work. So, what is God of Work? I wish I had the trailer to show you guys. I'm not professional, I'm sorry. If you go to my Twitter page, you can see I retweeted the trailer a couple days ago. So, when I got to G4, we got to work in this thing called the Beach House phase, which is basically a writer's room for all of the hosts and all the writers for G4 in one little, it's like a beach house. It was a person's home. It was a random person's home from Airbnb. And every day we were like, hey, we're gonna come up with sketches and ideas for things. And so I came up with this thing. I'm not a big sports guy, but you guys know those Sports Center commercials where they have like the celebrities like around the office just being weird? I was like, let's do that for video game characters. Like, Mario and Luigi are cleaning a bathroom up and someone walks by and they're like, Mario, what? Look at this guy, he did this in the bathroom. How could you? Like, that's a dumb bit that I made. And no one laughed at it, they thought it was stupid. And so the next week goes by and I'm like, okay, look, it's like that Sports Center thing, but instead it's Kratos and he can't figure out how to fix the paper jam in the printer. And no one laughed at it, they thought it was stupid. So the next week I was like, okay, here's the pitch. It's like sports commercials, but instead it's Zelda, or it's Link, and he's got the Master Sword stuck in the fridge and he can't get it out. And no one laughed at that. And so I just found it really funny that no one laughed at the things that I was pitching. So I just kept pitching it and pitching it and pitching it and pitching it. And by osmosis of me pitching it, I started making people laugh because they knew that I wasn't going to give up on the stupid pitch. So G4 comes back, we're making X-Play, making Attack of the Show. We have Name Your Price, Invitation to Party, all these different shows. And I still feel like we're not doing enough on X-Play. I'm still like, we can do more sketches, we can do more bits, we can do more shows within the show. And everyone's tired already. We've been working nonstop since November, and it's very exhausting. And so once again, I was like, hey, hear me out. one of us is Nemesis from Resident Evil, and his bazooka is stuck in the toilet, and Mario and Luigi catch him in the toilet. It's Sports Center commercial, and no one laughed. And I was like, you know what? Screw this, I'm gonna make this. I'm sorry, I'm doing this. So I immediately reached out to my sound guy, and I was like, I need you to make a theme for a TV show that sounds like God of War and The Office. He was like, all right, cool. So we went off and made that. And I found a costume designer, and I said, I need you to make me the best Kratos costume you can for a very overweight man. And she said, okay, no problem. And then I just wrote jokes. I wrote jokes, and I hired my own makeup artist, and I came to the studio one day dressed up in this stupid God of War costume, and I walked around sexually harassing people as Kratos. I tried to get people to see how funny this could be. It's just like, it's weird that Kratos is doing this. So I'd walk around and be like, you there, wench, what do you do here? And I'd scare people because I was doing a joke, but they didn't get it. And eventually, after doing these dumb jokes, the producers were like, okay, Gerard, we get it. You really want to do this Sports Center thing. How do we get you to stop talking about it? And so I said, I'm just going to make it in secrecy, and then you guys have to just let me make it. And they said, okay, who wants to work with Gerard on this thing? And one producer, Emily Jacob Rose, goes, I'd love to. This seems funny to me. And I said, Emily, let's do this. So she and I wrote a treatment for the show. We wrote 6 episodes, and it's I'll give you the synopsis. There's a company called, well, the whole idea of the show is video game characters in this show are like movie stars, they're actors. So if Mario and Luigi just made a brand new game, where do they go in the time between their new game and their next game? Because they're actors, they can't just wait around until the next game is made. So they work at a place called Digital Solutions. The solutions of tomorrow, today, yesterday. And the whole bit is that it's a temp agency for video game characters. A temp agency is where people go when they don't have a job looking for their next gig. And so video game characters work at this office until they hope for their next game. And so I play Kratos from God of War, and he thinks that Ragnarok is literally coming, not realizing that it's his new game, God of War Ragnarok. So he thinks the end of the world is coming, and he doesn't care. So he's mean to everyone, he's gross to everyone, he doesn't give a crap because he thinks the world is ending. And so I play Kratos, and I shaved my head for it. If you pay attention to my videos, I had no hair for a couple of weeks. It was very weird. Yeah, that's kind of the basis of the show. And so we wrote 6 episodes, and when we finally had to make the show, production found out, and I got in a lot of trouble because the show wasn't expensive, but it required to coordinate with like 100 people in the company, getting permits and all this stuff. And as a YouTuber, you just go, oh, I just take out my camera and film whenever I want. What do I need a permit for in a studio that I'm working out of? But I learned really hard lessons that day, that you can't just make things in secrecy until you can. And so I made this show, and I basically said, hey, you're either gonna let me make the show on my YouTube channel, or you guys can have it for G4. And G4 said, why not both? I said, oh, I won, cool. So the show comes out August 27th on my YouTube channel. Yeah. You can watch the whole season of the show in one video. So it's Netflix style, so you can watch all 6 episodes without having to wait another week or 6 weeks or whatever it is. And it's multi-streaming on TV as well. So if you get G4 in your home, you can watch the whole show. I'm really excited for it. This is the part where I played the trailer, but I didn't sell out, so thank you.
So hyped.
I love it.
Thank you.
5 seasons in a movie.
Thank you. 5 seasons in the movie. If only. But it's funny because we talked about what we do for season 2, and I said it'd be great if Kratos sells out. So I was like, go get me ads for Raid Shadow Legends and whatever. Kratos walking around and be like, for 500,000 silver, Kratos will show you the new gods when you use code Kratos on checkout. like that. See, someone laughed. It was worth it. At this point, I can take questions. I can just keep talking. I'm a talker. I'm very exhausting. We can do this all. You have a question, Scorpion. What's up?
What is the craziest thing you have seen on G4 so far? And also, what do you think Will Neff will destroy next?
What is the craziest thing I've seen on G4 so far? The craziest thing was seeing Will Neff jump 10 feet in the air and elbow drop a table.
Yes!
Broken.
Yes!
While a bunch of AEW wrestlers ran through their lives. It was very funny. And to answer your question, he'll probably break another table, if we're being honest. Will Neff, his whole thing is, how do I break stuff? And he just does it.
I feel bad for the producers, though.
The producers are always sad. They're always sad when it comes to Will Neff. You start the PlayStation hat.
Yep. Obviously, Xavier Woods works at G4 too.
Yep.
So other than Xavier Woods, any pro wrestlers that you found really cool to meet or whatever from G4?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because of Xavier Woods putting me over, wrestling term, with other wrestlers. I'm friends with a lot of wrestlers now. So Zelina Vega's a good friend of mine. I'm really good friends with Adam Cole. He's like my best friend. He and I talk all the time. Who here watches the Chugs on Twitch? Anyone? Adam Cole on Twitch? All of his alerts and all of his music and stuff, I designed that and made that with some friends. So if you're watching Adam Cole stream on Twitch and you see him as Cloud Strife beating the crap out of a Tonberry, that was me that made that. So I didn't pixel it, but I paid someone to make it. I designed the whole thing. So yeah, Adam Cole's a really good friend of mine. Liv Morgan and I talk a lot over Twitter and cell phone and stuff. She's really sweet. I'm trying to think who else I talked to. Ricochet is really nice. He's really great. Dakota Kai just recently came back to WWE. She's really sick. They're really great. The wrestlers are really cool. Nyla Rose and Dan Housen were such a pleasure to hang out with. Really sweet people. It was so funny. I got to go to AEW in LA a couple months ago, and I'm walking around with like an AEW badge, and no one's stopping me. And like the crew and like the jobber wrestlers that aren't a part of AEW are stopping me asking for autographs and photos and whatnot. And you have like the Hardy Boys walking by being like, who the hell is this guy? Mark Henry's like, who are you? What are you doing here? And then like I'm talking to Adam Cole, we're just shooting the shit, and like he's like, oh, by the way, this is Big Show. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you, Big Show. Later that night, Adam Cole and I got dinner and drinks at the hotel, and it was where all the wrestlers were staying. And so we're sitting there in the corner eating, and every wrestler of Mankind at AEW comes over and says hello to Adam Cole and myself. And it's so cool because when you're like a huge wrestling fan inside, you're like, oh my God! I love all of you! But you have to go, oh, it's nice to meet you, sir. Thank you. And it's just really cool because when you're a normal person, they treat you like a normal person. But it's scary for those wrestlers because when you're going to a hotel where they live, there's like 90 people with like trading card books, and they're like, hey, will you please sign this to eBay? Like, it's really, and they're just like, well, please go away. Let me drink my drink and eat my food. But they're all really sweet. All the wrestlers are really rad, whether it's WWE or AEW. They're all so cool. Adam Cole's my favorite one because he's the best. Adam Cole, baby. Yeah, there you go. Any more questions? I'll just keep talking. You in the white makeup.
How do you have time to complete games like every week for years and years?
Oh my God, ask this. The question was, how do I have the time to complete games for years and years and years? The true answer is, the joke answer is, I'm crazy and I don't sleep. Which is somewhat true. The real answer is, I am completing anywhere from 4 to 8 games at any given moment, and I have prepared a gigantic backlog. So if you're ever watching my show and you're like, why did Gerard complete this 1-hour Kirby game? That's bizarre. In the back of your mind, you can imagine Gerard and his team at 5 in the morning the night before going, it's not ready! Pull the trigger on another one! And so we grab another game that I've completed in a script that's already ready to go with a video that's already edited that airs that day, and then that video gets pushed to the following week or whatever it is. So, but nowadays, because of my time commitment at G4, we're really bare bones. The team has kind of shrunk a little bit. Most of them have gone to work on Beard Bros. And merch store stuff because we do merch for a lot of VTubers, which no one knows about, which is very exciting. You laugh, but those VTubers saved me during the pandemic, so thank you, VTubers. Thank you for being weird and great. So it's one of those things where I try to manage my schedule as best I can, but even I'm human and I make mistakes, and sometimes I just don't upload, which is not my MO. I'm always like, ye old faithful. I may not be your favorite YouTuber, but I am the most reliable, so I'll take it. You sir in the back, just doing this? Yeah.
So, a while back when you were talking about music, what was the inspiration for Big Bad Bosses?
So what was the inspiration for Big Bad Bosses? For those of you who do not know, Big Bad Bosses is a boy band group that I made, starring Bowser from Mario, Ganondorf from Zelda, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, and Dr. Robotnik from Sonic. And we made a boy band album. It's a comedy album. It's produced by Jake Kaufman, who's a beautiful composer. He composed for Shovel Knight, OKKO, Steven Universe, Mau Mau. He's a brilliant award-winning composer, and I got to steal him before he made all of the extra stuff, so I got lucky. And we charted #1 on billboards for 2 months. I had beef with a comedy. Like, I think it was like not Patton Oswalt, one of the comedy guys got mad because he's like, who the hell is Big Bad Bosses and why are they beating my album for 2 months straight? And it's a comedy album, it's very funny. It was inspired, question and answer for you, it was inspired by literally boy bands of the 90s. I grew up listening to dumb music like Backstreet Boys.
Yeah!
What's up? 98 Degrees, yeah. Boys to Men. I can't say it now, but like there are some tracks that are inspired by like R. Kelly and those weird tracks that he made. Some stuff like Cisco, who's now a friend of mine, which is weird to say. Cisco, the Thong Song. And so we made this album. It's like, it was so fun to make. We made it in 2015. If you guys have Spotify, you can listen to it. I guarantee you will laugh. It is stupid funny because of how serious it is. It is a boy band album first and a comedy album second. And it has no right being as good as it is. Like, it should not be good. It should be bad. It should be like a YouTuber trying to make music, but it's not. It's a actual good thing. Probably the most proud thing I've made. We've been working on a second album for a few years now, and hopefully by the end of this year, we'll have something to show for you guys. So we'll see. No promises though. Spider-Man.
I'm just curious, what has been the hardest thing you ever had to complete in your life, and what was your most favorite game you had to complete in your life?
Hardest game to complete in my life is probably Hyrule Warriors, now that I think about it. Just because it took 1,100 hours. It wasn't hard, it was just time consuming.
Not Persona 5?
Persona 5 is fun. Hyrule Warriors is not after
I remember you gave up on Persona 5 because
I had to give up Persona 5 because there was no... I made my own dumb completion criteria. It was my fault. I said, hey, to complete Persona 5, you have to date everyone in the end. But all they do is give you chocolate. You don't get anything. It's a potion. And you can use it one time. So what's the point? So getting the platinum and spending 600 hours was more than enough. I think we'd all can agree there's no point in getting all those stupid chocolates. And then you said, what was the easiest?
Yeah, no, what was your favorite?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have a favorite of the games I've completed. I'll tell you my favorite Completionist episode.
Yeah.
My favorite episode I've ever made is a game called Pepsi Man for the PlayStation. Don't get it twisted. I was one of the first YouTubers that made a Pepsi Man video. Don't believe the lies. That Pepsi Man video, in it is a video of Pepsi Man humping a Pepsi bottle. And that video has like 2 million views. The real Pepsi Man video that we did make, that I helped make, no one knows that I helped make, if you watch my show, you know it, has like 11 million views. And it's super weird watching things like AGDQ and SGDQ, and they're like singing the Pepsi Man song and playing the Pepsi Man music video that we made, and I'm like, I made that!
I did that!
No one knows who I am, but I made that. It's so cool. You in the green hoodie in the very, very back. Hello. What's up? Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, I blacked out with Fez. I love that game, but after a while they start to really get you. I love those first opening world puzzles. Are you laughing at me because I said I blacked out because of Fez? Sometimes I get through games and I just pass out. It's just too much. No, Fez is a great game. It's really hard to. I feel bad for the creator of it because he got in such hot water just for trying to talk about games and people got mad at him. But Fez is great. If you haven't played Fez, highly recommend it. Yep. The puzzle. One of the things about Fez is that it doesn't make you feel stupid. It definitely like holds your hand in making you learn the game, the mechanics, and any game that makes you feel that way is a good game. Like Shovel Knight, for instance. There's not one tutorial on Shovel Knight in that opening stage. You just have to learn it by context clues and paying attention. So, sorry I don't have an answer for you, but I love Fez. Thank you for the question. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we got a mini standing ovation in the back. Thank you. You, sir.
I know he already asked about the hardest game, but I was wondering what was the game that you completed that drove you to like near insanity?
What game drove me to near insanity?
Oh no! And he sits down.
Oh Jesus. I'll tell you one that I didn't complain enough about, but I wish I did. I think it was. I always mix up the names. Shadow of Mordor, the Middle Earth game.
Oh, yes. Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War.
So which is the first one?
Mordor.
So Shadow of Mordor had some DLC. And the DLC was like, you had to play online, and you had to, I forget the details of it, it's in the video, but it's one of those things where you have to join a game, and you have to have the perfect amount of RNG to kill 3 commanders in one run, like 3 head honchos. And based on the way the map is laid out and how big it is, it's physically impossible. It is impossible to get that lucky. So you have to start around, play the game, and then about 5 minutes in assess, oh, I can't do this because the RNG's messed up. It took me 75 hours to get that one achievement. It was not fun. And it doesn't even help you in the platinum. It's not even like you did it. It's just ding, platinum trophy, right? Or extra DLC trophy. That made me one of the worst ones, especially because I pushed that episode back for a solid month. I kept kicking the can. Those ones are always the most difficult because you're like, I just want to be done with this. I don't want to play it anymore.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for watching. You, sir, in the mask.
Is there a beloved game that you've played that after putting so much time and effort into it that you thought was actually kind of overrated?
Oh man, is there a game that is beloved that I put hours in that by the time I was done I thought was overrated? Oh my goodness. I gotta think about this one. That's how I feel. I'm gonna play you right now. I want to say, I don't know. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. That's such a specific question. My sister's been trying to FaceTime me all weekend with her nephew while I'm at the show, and she won't stop. And so every time I do it, and there's like an audience of people behind me, and she's like, your nephew wants to talk to you. And I'm like, there's a line of people here. And she's like, he says you suck at games. And then I get to go, Patrick, I'll see you at home. Train. I honestly don't have an answer to your question. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna think on it. I'll ideate on it. Alice.
Hi. I just want to say thank you for all that you do. Honestly, you inspire a lot of people, including myself, to complete games. It took me forever to complete Alice Madness Returns because every time I missed a collectible, I had to restart the entire level. So that was a lot of fun.
So you can relate to everything I ever do then.
Yes. Just real quick, my siblings are such huge fans of yours. Are you okay with me taping you saying hi to them at all?
Yes. What are your siblings' names?
So my little brother's name is Noah, and my little sister's name is named Vian. It's French.
Noah and Vian?
Yes.
I'm sorry you're not here, but thank you for watching. Listen to your family members. They know better than you. You are small. And one day you won't be small. And that's when you can come here and say hello to me. So there you go.
Thank you so much.
I do birthday parties for the weekend sometimes, you know. Extra cash. You, sir, right here in the Hawaiian shirt? The DK shirt. Okay.
Question. Two small questions. Number one, what level are you on PlayStation Trophy? And the other question is, what game do you want to win for the Patreon?
What game did I want to win in the Patreon?
Yeah.
So the one that I wanted to win, I think won, was Metroid Fusion.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be doing a review on Metroid Fusion sometime soon in the future, when I find some time to actually learn the game. Well, your first question was what again? I'm sorry.
What level of trophy?
Oh, my trophy level. My trophy level isn't that high.
I'm 324.
So I'm probably around 400. But I only have like 125 platinum trophies, which like sounds like a lot, but there's literally videos out there that are like, earn 50 platinums in 6 hours. And you're like, oh, that's fun. I can just be a pro gamer by turning a game on. Cool. Which happens a lot. There's trophies that are like, turn the game on. You got the platinum. Thanks for playing. The game was 25 cents. You, sir, in the cool sweater with the stripes.
All right, thank you. Do you have any plans on maybe completing Elden Ring in the future?
Elden Ring, yes. So I've been working on Elden Ring since Elden Ring came out. I've been actually done with Elden Ring for quite some time. The script's been done. The video's basically been done. But what I wanted to try and do is, it's really hard to make an Elden Ring video when everyone and their mom is making an Elden Ring video. So I was like, how do I make my Elden Ring video different? And so I'm working on this angle where I said to myself, what if I beat every single boss in Elden Ring like they owe me lunch money? So I have this chart in my office of me trying to find every single boss. And the hard part about it is that people are finding more bosses every day. So I don't know what that quantifies for. So I'm trying to find out how to make that, but I feel like that's how you make a unique footprint on it, right? Because otherwise it's gonna be game good, Dark Souls good. I like Elden Ring. Thank you for watching, please subscribe. You, sir, in the white.
So, do you know exactly what's going on with normal boots? Because I feel like every time they make a few episodes,
We go dark, yeah. So that's actually an easy question. Normal Boots, for those guys who don't know, we were a website, and now we're a YouTube channel, and now we're a YouTube channel that doesn't make content. So we announced new members in 2021. We had Chatronic, Proton John, Lady Pelvic. Most of the original team left, but that's kind of our new team. You have obviously Peanut Butter Gamer, Did You Know Gaming, and myself. We relaunched the channel. We're really happy to make content. We had a bunch of new shows lined up. And as we were making stuff, we just said, hey, COVID sucks. It's really hard to make. I can spend all this time and money trying to do OBS screen shares and video webcams and stuff, and I think it just loses the magic of making stuff with your friends in person. So I just said, you know what? Let's pull the plug on Normal Boots. I think we launched a little too early in this 2.0 version of it. Let's wait till COVID's down and in a way where we feel comfortable with it. And then we can start scheduling, you know, team retreats, people coming together, filming content for several weeks at a time. So that's kind of what our plan is. We're definitely not dead. We're definitely not going away. It's just, I wanted to, it's hard, right? It costs money, it costs time, and more importantly, it costs mental health to get on a plane when we're all just so divided about masks and, you know, vaccines and stuff. Like, everyone just wants to be safe, no matter what. And that's the hard part, is that I'm very immune compromised, so I have to be very careful with how I travel, and I travel all the time. So, you know, it's just that kind of thing where not everyone's stoked about traveling so much. So I'd say like a couple more months, we'll be back together making stuff. We're almost at the end of it, so. Gentleman holding the Mario hat in his hand.
Hi.
Kathy.
First off, it's super cool that you're even here.
Oh, thank you.
And second, I've been always curious. Would you ever do a review for a Digimon game?
Digimon games? I don't know. Do people like Digimon games? I don't know. This guy's games. That's what I don't know. I generally don't. They keep making them. It feels like Digimon's popular in Japan and in Europe, but not so much in the States. I heard it's good. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's just people have been like review bombing it and saying negative stuff because nobody likes visual novels. Everybody's boo-hooing.
Yeah.
But then there's like Cyber Sleuth. That one's a pretty good one.
I heard Cyber Sleuth was good too. I don't know, man. I don't want to say yes because then I overpromise and underdeliver, but
No, you're fine.
I've definitely thought about it in the last several weeks about doing Digimon, especially because Pokemon games are pretty exhausting sometimes to do. So, thank you for the question. You, sir, in the hat. Yeah.
What's your favorite classic X-Play episode?
My favorite classic X-Play episode. You asked a great question, which I ask all the time in the office, because no one can tell me the answer. Well, it's not the fault of X-Play, right? Like, it's almost like, remember that time that Adam Sessler told the joke? You know what I mean? Like, there's not like a standout moment that really resonates with me. I think my favorite Attack of the Show, I can tell you Attack of the Show, because Attack of the Show is all about jokes and sketches and stuff. My favorite sketch from Attack of the Show is when Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars works at a temp agency. He's like, I have built an invisible doggy fence. He like throws a bone and kills a dog, and like he's working at an air traffic control center. He's like, oh yes, young Padawan, you will die. And he like turns off the lights. What are you doing? Like, oh, I'm sorry, aircraft 471. Please pull into the tarmac now. It's a really dumb bit. I'm ruining it. But yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah, you sir in the hoodie.
As someone who's been as experienced as you are on YouTube and has seen how things have shifted from when you started to where they are now,
Yeah.
do you think with the current culture of YouTube, like how would your content be different if you started now compared to when you started way back when?
If I started YouTube now, I would not do YouTube.
Thank you.
YouTube, I'm gonna sound like an old man that's just like, it's a lie! It's a sham! Don't believe in YouTube! Do something different! Don't get a liberal arts degree! Go become an engineer! It's really just a life reference, if I'm being honest.
Hey, I took that advice.
Yeah, it's one of those things where doing YouTube nowadays is very, very, very different. And to me, maybe I don't want to speak for anyone, any YouTuber. I know you're filming, so someone's gonna see this and it's gonna go on Twitter and someone's gonna make fun of me and I'm out of touch and I'm an old man and those are all true things, but there's a certain level of mystique with YouTube. Where did I get this feather from? There's a certain level of mystique on YouTube nowadays that's like, bigger is better, right? How many of us know who Mr. Beast is to a degree, right? Everyone's heard of Mr. Beast?
100 million.
Yeah. He needs to stop. He needs to stop making a video that's worth $35 million. The rest of us are just trying to eat, man. You can't sit there and be like, I'm gonna make a video. Like, you know what I mean? It's too hard. Like, how does the Completionist make a video like Mr. Beast? I don't have millions of dollars to spend. And everyone loves watching Mr. Beast because of that, but it's also a charity angle. I gave away all this money for charity because charity. Also, I gave an island to a random subscriber. Like, it's so hard to do that, right? It's to me, it sounds like I'm complaining, but there's a lot of YouTubers who are doing that and you just don't realize it, right? It's like, I got 90 YouTubers to fight in an escape room, and one of them doesn't know that the escape room is fake. What? I was in that video. Alpharad asked me to be in an escape room that had no solutions and no puzzles to prank my group. And what he didn't know is that I will get my revenge, Alpharad. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. Record that. Don't tell him.
It's on Twitch. It's on Twitch.
It's not. Are you streaming right now? I love Alpharad and Mr. Beast.
Don't worry, they're not streamers.
I think YouTube is definitely becoming a place where it's like, look how big of a thing I can do, look how cool I am in that process. Instead of just being yourself and sharing it, right? I think the whole phrase of YouTube in the beginning, right, was
Broadcast yourself.
Yeah,
That was hysterical. You know what the best part was? I wasn't going to say that. So you guys saved me the embarrassment. Yeah, broadcast yourself, right? And it's supposed to be about you, but it's not really about you. It's about a robot algorithm that tells you what to watch. It sounds crazy, but it's true. And every platform's that way. TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. The more you go down those rabbit holes, YouTubers and streamers start showing up. There are people who are like, hey, what do? Oh, I headbutt waffles every day. I'm not kidding. There's a woman on Instagram. Her whole thing is headbutting a waffle. 10 million followers. What am I supposed to do with that? Right? What am I going to do? That's why I have to just keep doing what I do and hope that people don't forget about me. But they're going to remember a waffle headbutt lady for sure. So. Thank you for your question. Yes?
Kind of adding on to that, because I'm genuinely curious about
Yeah.
this. With how YouTube has changed and how the guidelines have kind of changed, and I've noticed, sorry this gets a little, down the rabbit hole, but like...
No problem. I am the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but a lot of people get offended by a lot of stuff easily, so how do you YouTubers deal with constantly getting demonetized for like cursing or making
Sure.
dirty jokes, yet there's other literal animal abuse videos on there
Yeah.
not getting taken down. So how do you deal with that? And I'm just genuinely curious.
Sure. So YouTube is a weird thing where we all think that we gotta hold the company accountable, right? We need a system that manages all the content we watch. In actuality, there's like 10 billion minutes of YouTube uploaded per minute.
Yeah.
So it's hard to create an algorithm that can track that progress and police it and make sure that it's kid-friendly and family-friendly. It's really hard to do that, and so to expect that is impossible. All we can do as creators is just yell and scream on Twitter, which works. It sounds like I'm kidding.
Markiplier, when they took down his like try not to laugh, and then
Yeah.
the mythical Moist did it too, and it was like...
Yeah, there's a lot of people who, I mean, whether you're the golden boy of YouTube or, you know, the person who just started making content today, the rules don't apply to everyone because there's too many things to keep track of. There are content creators, I kid you not, that dox personal information of content creators all the time. And YouTube does nothing. Not because they don't want to do something, but because if they intervene, it sets a precedent that anyone can do that or not do it. And it sucks. I've been attacked by those content creators myself. Please don't Google my address, I appreciate it. And it sucks because there's nothing we can do. We can yell and scream and ask and do all this stuff, and it's just impossible. So it's kind of, the sad truth is there's nothing we can do. All we can do is, as people of online culture, tell the people who are making this machine, hey, this is an animal abuse video. This is a video of someone who's naked on YouTube. Like there are weird, gross rabbit holes on YouTube that no one should be watching that somehow get traction and still nothing does anyone about it. It just sucks. I wish it was better. But then there's that whole like dystopian future thing of like, should they be tracking everything? You know, like then and that's a whole other panel that I am not the guy to host. So
Yeah.
thank you for your question.
Well, thank you.
What are you holding in your hand? Is that a Oh, the Neo Geo. Yeah.
Hey, this is a question for us old heads on YouTube.
Yes.
Now that we see some of these channels starting to reach like 15, 20 years making content.
Yeah.
There's some of those early like stuff that you enjoyed, like whether it be like on sites like Newgrounds,
Sure.
you know, so on.
So the question was, now that YouTube is old enough for us to get nostalgic for YouTubers, what were some other websites that I used to watch that I'm nostalgic for? Definitely Newgrounds. I watched Newgrounds a lot. I had a lot of friends on Newgrounds, definitely watched their stuff. Albino Black Sheep was a place that I went to a lot. That was a fun vibe. I don't know where it is now, it's probably gone. I also really loved, what is it called? YTM&D, that's where I did a lot, yeah. You're the man now, dog. That was like memes before memes, and there was no explanation for the meme. It was like one line sentence, image, and video, and you're like, ha! I get it. I don't, but it's still funny. Now it's like, now TikTok memes are like, you know the music, you know the person, you know the bit, you know the soundtrack. It's like 7 jokes that you have to get. My girlfriend sends me a TikTok, and I like stare at it for 10 minutes like, Where's the comedy? I can't tell her it's not funny, but where's the comedy? Thank you for your question. Matt.
What's your favorite part of the creative process? Like, what part do you enjoy the most every time you do it?
My favorite part of the creative process is probably writing and filming and editing. Really everything. The thing I hate the most is uploading the video. Because it's almost like, take the wheel. I hope people like it. That's like what YouTube is you work for 40, 80, 120 hours a week on these videos, and you just hope that someone's watching. And sometimes the video explodes and gets 1 million views. Sometimes it doesn't even crack 50,000, and you're like, okay, I'll base my self-worth on this computer, that's fine. Thank you for the question. You, sir.
I want to know just kind of what are some of the projects that you can even share that you're excited about coming up with G4?
Oh man, what are some projects I'm excited for G4? Oh crap, what can I talk about? Well, I can't get...
Remember, it's being streamed.
It is being streamed, and I'm sure someone's in the G4 Discord right now is going to tell everyone I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. I'll get called into work tomorrow morning. What did you tell them?
Yeah, Kevin Pereira will snipe you.
What?
Kevin Pereira will probably snipe you.
Kevin Pereira will send a laser drone to my house.
Yep.
I can't disclose a lot. What I can disclose is that I am a huge advocate of bringing back some classic shows from the G4 Vault.
Yes.
I am personally responsible for some of those shows. There's 2 shows that I think everyone will enjoys that are from the G4 library that I really can't tell you. But I think one of them rhymes with Favicon. You know what I'm talking about. I'll stop there. That's good enough. And then one is a show that is currently on G4's network that hasn't gotten a new episode in maybe 3 or 4 decades. And I am leading the charge on rebooting that show, and I may be the host of said show. So we'll see. I'm trying to go, we like video games, let us make stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you for the question. You, sir, in the hat. How am I out of time? Is someone gonna attack me? Okay, go ahead.
Has there been a game that you started to complete and you just gave up on?
There's never been a game that I've given up on, but there's been a game that I've been like, I can't figure out how to complete it the way that I want to, and that's Mischief Makers for the N64. Shake, shake, baby, shake, shake. It's one of the hardest games because there's a triathlon challenge where you have to have the best time. And admittedly, even with the turbo controller, it's impossible. You just have to know when to press the D-pad in a way to make the character sprint across the screen, and it's one of the hardest challenges I've ever faced. I've been working on that game since 2012, and I still haven't finished it. Because again, completing it is different from beating it. So getting S rank on everything sucks, and I still haven't done it. There are people who can do it that are better than me. I need to talk to them and have them coach me because I'm not good enough. N64. Watch my Quest video. Just came out last week. Or yesterday. Thank you. The 2 of you next to each other with your hands up.
So I was talking to Daniel Casina, that you know.
Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
He told me to ask you something.
Oh no, what did Daniel tell you to ask me?
You already know. How did you and Johnny get kicked out of Norway?
Okay, so the question is, how did the actor who plays Johnny Cage and myself get kicked out of Norway? To give you some context, we didn't get kicked out of the country. We got kicked out of a bar. So I go to the show in Norway once a year called Retro Spillmessen, which for those of you guys who don't speak Norwegian, translates literally to the game convention. So it sounds very fancy, but it's just the game con. And in Norway, it's in this small little town that has 100 people. It's very quaint, very small, very cute. But everyone from Europe comes over, and then they fly a bunch of content creators and YouTubers and streamers and celebrities that should be there. People like the voice actors in the Mortal Kombat game. So I went the same year, one year that the Mortal Kombat guys go, and we got to know them really well. They're really fun, they're really great. If you haven't met those guys, go talk to them afterwards. They're really sweet. And so my group, which consists of like Grant Kirkhope from Banjo-Kazooie fame, Alex Fasciani, Norm the gaming historian, and then like the Game Chasers, and a couple of other like the guys who made Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like one of them sings The Great Mighty Pooh. Chris Marlowe, good friend of mine. And so like the whole weekend, all of us hung out. Like to be able to be like, I got to hang out with the guys who made my favorite games and they call me their friend and I get to FaceTime them and talk to them all the time is so surreal. And it was because of this weekend. We got to know each other. Meanwhile, we're trying, like in Norway, it's like sunny until like 2 a.m. I kid you not. It's very weird. And everything closes like it's Sunday all the time. So at like 6 p.m. everything's closed. And it's like in the middle of the afternoon. It's very crazy. And we're walking around after the show and we're trying to find a place to eat. And there's like this 50s diner hamburger bar. And we walk in and we start drinking and eating and having a good time. And the food wasn't very good because Norway is one of those countries that's like, yes, hamburgers. They're so delicious for Americans. Like, they think they like to emulate it, right? So we're eating these burgers that aren't very good. And then the Mortal Kombat guys come walking in, and they have been drinking for hours. They are gone. They are obliterated. And they see us, and they're like, hey, what's up? And they're hanging out, and they're going crazy, like, oh, this is so cool, awesome. The Mortal Kombat guys are so rad. They did that the entire time they were there at the hamburger restaurant, to the point where the guys were like, you have to leave. You're being obnoxious and you're scaring everyone. And the Mortal Kombat guys were like, no, we're cool, everything's sick, yeah. Get over here, yeah. So we're just like, wow, they're crazy. And I'm laughing my ass off because they're the Mortal Kombat guys. What are you gonna, you're not gonna tell Scorpion no. It's like, get over here, I'm getting you a shot. Yes, sir, no problem. So you go over there and we start drinking and now we're like, hey, this is great, we're Americans in Norway, we shouldn't be here. And eventually they were like, get out. And we're like, okay. So we got kicked out of this burger place. We're like, where else we can go? We found a pizza place a couple blocks away. We wander in there, the Mortal Kombat guys are gone. We order our pizza. 15 minutes later, the Mortal Kombat guys come in. Come over here, more shots! And that's how and then we got kicked out of that place too. So, just because we knew the Mortal Kombat guys, they kicked us out. But you know what? It was worth it. I think it's the first time I've ever told that story. So there you go. When does my panel end? I started early. I think I have another 9 more minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
15?
Yeah, until 15.
God, I got 9 minutes. Sick. It's going great. You in the back with the blue hat? With the gold? Yeah, what is that? Oh, it's a mask. Oh, Rey Mysterio mask. Or a luchador mask.
Sin Cara.
I can't see that far. Your question. The quest I get most that I want to do the least is going to be Xenoblade Chronicles. I have started and stopped that. Listen to the reaction. That's exactly why. I have started and stopped that game like 300 times. Except you probably beat the game. I didn't. Yeah. Yes. If you want to meet me after the panel, yes. I will be. I don't want to meet outside the hallways here because it's crazy. If you go to where the Mortal Kombat booth is.
Oh no! Hey, get over here!
Daniel's gonna be like, what did you tell them? I'm next to Retro Ralph. His booth is right there. We have a table right there. I had merch there, but I sold out yesterday. I bought a bunch of stuff and You guys bought it all, so I'm sorry. But I will sign and take photos for the price of free. So if you want to come up, just a guy who cares about me. Roger Craig Smith's over there. He voiced Sonic. He deserves all the money in the world. I'm just a guy on YouTube. So. All right. Any more questions? You, sir.
I'm gonna assume that you've already been asked this before, but what are like your, I guess like your top 3 personal favorite Completionist videos?
My top 3 personal favorite. I did say earlier Pepsi Man. That still holds up. More recently, I really loved my Final Fantasy VIII video that I did last year. Mostly because I got to embarrass my best friend. For those of you guys who don't know, who's here seen Charlie's Angels, the reboot? So in the reboot of Charlie's Angels, there's a scene where these 2 guys are sitting down playing Final Fantasy VIII on PlayStation 1. And they're playing it like they're playing it multiplayer. Final Fantasy VIII does not have multiplayer. And one of the guys in the video, in the thing is like, I see naked chicks all the time. And then the guy's like, no, you don't. And then Drew Barrymore falls down and she's naked. And he goes, see, I told you. That's my best friend Michael Barrity, who produces my videos and is one of my best friends. And when I made the Final Fantasy VIII video, I had to start with that anecdote just to say like how funny it was. Had nothing to do with Final Fantasy VIII, except for the fact that Charlie's Angels wants you to think that Final Fantasy VIII has multiplayer, and Square Enix said, yeah, that's fine. And then I think my third favorite video, I don't know, it's so hard, right? Because I feel like I don't remember my videos as well as I used to. I want to say that one of my favorite videos I probably made was any of the ones I made with Sudo51, Sudo51 for No More Heroes. Just because this is a fun story, a great tangent if you will. So Sudo51 lives in Japan, he created No More Heroes, Grasshopper Games, for some great games, some of my favorites. And one of the guys that works for Sudo51 is a massive fan of mine. And he sent me a message and said, hey, do you want to work with Sudo51? And I was like, yes! He goes, well, Sudo51's a fan of you. And I go, I doubt that, but I still want to spend time with Sudo51, Sudo51, whatever you prefer. And so we shot some videos, you know, my No More Heroes 3 video, Travis Strikes Again, or Strikes Back. And it was great, it was fun hanging out with him. And after we shot this Travis Strikes Back video, I sent him an email and I was like, hey man, I don't know why I would, but if you're ever in LA, like we should get drinks and ramen, it'd be cool. And Suda responded, ramen in Los Angeles sucks, but if you ever come to Japan, we'd love to have you. And I said, okay, cool. It turns out that a week later, Activision Blizzard flew me out to play Sekiro's Shadows Die Twice. And while I was there, I kind of accidentally extended my trip for 2 weeks to Japan, because Japan's awesome. So I extended my trip for 2 weeks and took a little mini vacation in Japan. And while I was there, I messaged Suda and said, hey, I'm in Japan, let's go hang out. And he said, come on down. I got to go to his office. I got to meet the whole team. None of them speak English. None of them know who I am. They just know that I love their games and they were excited to see me. And I got to see early screenshots of No More Heroes 3. And afterwards, they invited me to go get drinks and go eat ramen with them. So, because if you play Suda51 games, you know that he loves ramen and alcohol. So that's what we had to do. So we went and we had ramen and drinks together. And I think I had some of the world's spiciest ramen ever. But I couldn't let Suda sense the fear on my face that I made a mistake. So my buddy Frazier and I just drank through the pain. We ate all this ramen, and afterwards Suda looked me in the eyes and goes, "You are crazy!" And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I didn't get the same hot that you did. You're an idiot." And I said, "I did it because I love you." He then jumped in my arms and gave me a hug. Aww. And then fast forward to E3 later that year, I'm walking around with my team, and Suda's translator recognizes me and goes, "Oh, Completionist! And at first I was like, well, I get that a lot. Someone just screams completionist and points at me, so that's not weird. But I can tell he didn't speak very good English. And he looks at me, and he points, and Suda's there, and Suda goes, oh. And then he jumps in my arms again, like he did that night we had ramen. And so that is our ritual when we see each other, is he jumps in my arms like a baby, and I catch him, and I hug Suda. I wish I had that relationship with everyone that's famous. That'd be so great. Thank you for your question that you didn't ask. That's my time. I got 5 minutes left, I'm good. You, sir, the leather jacket. Jean jacket. I can't see very well.
So like you completed a game on every console.
Not every console, but most of the major ones. Like I haven't touched Atari or any of that stuff.
What would you say is your favorite game that you completed on each console that you've had?
Oh God. That's really hard. That's a separate panel. Can I do 3? Does that work? Okay. Let's start with N64, Banjo-Kazooie, obviously. I take most of you who did not clap, you're Mario 64 fans, and I understand.
Yes, Mario 64.
I understand, but I disagree. PlayStation 1, I'd probably say Final Fantasy 7, just because Final Fantasy 7. And then Super Nintendo is hard because I think I did a top 10 video of my favorite Super Nintendo games. Obviously, Donkey Kong Country 2 is the easy one that I always tout as my favorite. But the dark horse that I absolutely love is Final Fantasy 6. That one's so good. That's Star Wars with the medieval times that people sleep on, which you shouldn't. It's very great. That's why it's very expensive too. Yeah. You, sir, with the cup in your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that New Game Plus has been completed, which again, congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the petty clap.
All of the VODs that you have recorded of yours on Twitch, are they finally going to be uploaded?
Yeah, we're working on it. I'm trying to. I blocked not all of them, but like maybe 2/3 of them, just because people were complaining they wanted to see them all. But honestly, it's just like 12 hours of me being like, "Hey, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Hey, thank you for the bits. Hey, thank you for the. Oh my God! Hey, thank you for the Prime." I don't know if that's entertaining to watch, but I'll try. We'll see. Team Rocket in the back.
I just want to say, we all appreciate that you're here. Thank you for coming and entertaining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bane with the fan.
When's the last time you played a game purely for yourself, not content, just you alone? And like, how long ago was that? And what game was it?
Okay. This has been my obsession. I can't stop playing it. It's the best $3 I've ever spent. It's a little game called Vampire Survivors.
Yes! Woo! Yeah!
If you have not played Vampire Survivors on Steam, it's $3. It's basically a reverse bullet hell about Castlevania games. And it's very addictive.
Yes.
Last week I had 160 hours logged. I just got my Steam Deck. As of this morning, it's 220 hours. So, as you can tell, it's the best $3 I've ever spent. And the game is almost, I think, ready to actually be released, because it's been in beta, open beta for like, since January. Cannot recommend it enough. If you love bullet hells and you love randomized games and you love Castlevania with kick-ass music, I highly recommend it. Vampire Survivors on Steam.
$3.
$3. $3. Any more questions? Yes, you.
Alright. So how does it feel to put so many hours into playing and beating a game, and you finally upload it after who knows how many times, and you found out that you missed the ring for beating Dark Souls without dying?
Oh.
Security. That's the worst. That is my nightmare. I literally scream every video since the Dark Souls video. Which, by the way, I am working on a New Game Plus Dark Souls 2. That's something I am doing. I know that there's going to be some games that I do New Game Plus episodes for before the end of New Game Plus, because I'm not happy with the video and I need to revisit it. Things like Resident Evil Village, Dark Souls 2, Bioshock 2. I want to redo them just because I think I was too cynical, and I don't think people understood what I was saying. Because you know what tends to happen is like, this is a prime example of my YouTube experience. There is 99% about this thing that I love in this one game, but there's 1% I don't like, and someone's like, he didn't play the game! That 1% means nothing! He is the worst! Unsubscribed! The free thing that I asked for, that I want it back! So yeah, I think about it all the time. I stay up late at night sweating, crying, freaking out. But hey, I have a second chance to redo it, so.
You have to redo Village because the DLC.
That's true. Okay, I think I'm over time. But hey, thank you all for coming so much. I hope you had fun. Now, I want to say real quick, if you want to say hello to me, I will be at my booth next to Retro Ralph. Say hi to Ralph. Subscribe to Ralph. Ralph's one of the best YouTubers out there. I'll be there. The thing is that my flight is in like an hour and a half, and I have to leave. So if you want to come say hello, keep the conversation short. I want to sign autographs, take photos, give fist bumps, all that stuff. I just want to be time efficient because I don't want to be stuck in Arizona. So thank you all for coming. Have a great day.